Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Super happy Monday. Apparently, the boy wanted to wake up at 6 and said it was 6:45, so he got in trouble for that. And then he came out here to get on his Chromebook and found out his sister unplugged his to plug her own in.
So
So it's dead.
So it's a banner morning in the Madden house.
So I open up her Chromebook and tell her that her brother gets to use it after I close all of her tabs, and then I'm in trouble with her because I closed all of her tabs.
Okay. So it's going pretty good.
Yeah. So Mother's Day for you yesterday. What'd you do now that you're single and you don't have to plan anything?
You know what? Real talk. This is the first Mother's Day in like 3 years where I haven't had to spend $200 on getting the house professionally clean and then taking the boys away from the house for like 9 hours in San Francisco or something.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say it was pretty good.
Because I remember my first Mother's Day single, you came by my house too with flowers and stuff. You're a nice guy.
Yeah, thanks. I had a really good day yesterday. I didn't have the kids this weekend. So I made the mistake of going to Huckleberry's, where the old Perco's used to be on Salina Boulevard or whatever that is over there. Good morning, Wendy. And even for one person, it was still like a 30-minute wait, you know?
I know. I called my favorite place downtown for food last night, and there was no to-go orders tonight. And because I had some wine in me and I'm a Karen, I wrote the owner. What to-go orders? What are single moms supposed to do tonight? And I don't know if he gets my personality, so he probably like this again.
Dude, they're probably looking at this like they'll complain about anything.
Hi, Nick.
What's up, Nick?
So yesterday morning, I got up and I went and got a cheeseburger. So Sonora, the Carl's Jr. from my house is about 45 minutes. And I wrote my buddy, I texted my buddy, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go for a drive to Sonora. Do you want to come with me? Want to get out? And he's like, no, what are you going to Sonora for? And I'm like, just to go for a drive. And he's like, no, but really? And I said, for a cheeseburger. He goes, there it is. There it is. So I took the top off the Jeep and I drove hour and a half round trip for a cheeseburger at Carl's Jr. for breakfast.
That's cool.
And then napped and then went to my parents' house and hung out with Mom and Madden and Papa Madden and grilled a little bit and then came home with the kids. And then on the way home, texted my ex-husband and said, are you kidding me? You didn't have the kids do anything for me for Mother's Day? Because this weekend is frog jump. Here's where I live. It's frog jump weekend this weekend. So the kids have minimum day Wednesday and no school Thursday, Friday. And it's going to be packed. So there are no hotel rooms in the area to book. They are booked out flat. So my ex-husband was like, can we stay at your place for me and my other daughter, him and his other daughter, for a couple days this weekend? And I was like, yeah. And then yesterday, and I'm like, ask me if you could stay in my house for the weekend. You didn't do crap for me for Mother's Day. So I knew what he was going to say. What do you think he said?
I'm doing something this weekend.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's what I would have said. I would have led off with that. I would have called you and been like, hey, you may have noticed that the kids didn't do anything for Mother's Day this week. It's because I'm doing it next week.
When I'm there, staying in your house.
Right. That makes it more special.
Hi, Wendy. My buddy's out of state, so I'm going to stay at his place, and I'm just going to let Joe have my place for the weekend.
That'd be cool. It'll be like a little 3-story mountain house for the weekend.
So should I tell the bat story in this one or the 8 o'clock?
Okay, let's trade off here. Should I tell the crushing a 12-year-old's confidence in this stream or the 8 o'clock stream?
Crush the 12-year-old's confidence because your buddy Nick is in here.
Okay.
And he just calls with you.
Okay, so broad strokes for anybody that knows, I picked up disc golfing in December, and I do that all the time now. Disc golfing is exactly like regular golf, except you use a disc. So par 3 is 3 throws instead of 3 strokes. There is a huge amateur tournament that finished up this weekend and a pro tournament next weekend out at the Swenson Golf Course in Stockton. For those that don't know, this is huge. There'll be like over 1,000 people there. So there's a lot of people from Modesto that were in this tournament that I know. One of them, their daughter is really, really, really good. Like so good that a pro that was out there yesterday, she got his autograph. And then this pro was like, I want to get yours because in a few years, you're going to be a name to know, right?
Good morning, Victor. Yeah.
So there's only two people that she's playing, or there's only one person that she's playing against in her division, right? So it's just her and one other person. And these are young girls. They're like teenagers, you know, like 10, 11, 12 years old. So I'm looking at the scorecard, and this girl that I know is like ahead by 77 strokes, which is a lot. It's a lot.
Okay,
right?
so when you say ahead by 70, I'm working. When you say ahead by 77 strokes, that means it's taken her 77 extra strokes to get to where she's at. She's not like winning by 77 strokes.
I mean, yes and yes. She is winning by 77 strokes because it's taking the person that she's playing that many extra strokes to get to where they're going. And on top of that, and I knew nothing about the course, Swenson out in Stockton is a really hard disc golf course. Like a typical hole in disc golf is like 400 feet, and that's a long hole, right? Mm-hmm. These are like 1,000-foot holes, okay? So you're asking this 12-year-old girl to fling a disc like 1,000 feet and do it in like 3 or 4 throws. It's not going to happen. So I'm looking at the scorecard, and I'm looking at her, the girl that I know, and her parents, and I'm like, she's 77 ahead? And they go, no, our daughter is only 9 strokes ahead. She's winning by 77. I said, I know, this girl, and I said her name, is 77 behind? And I wasn't being malicious. I was like just remarking at how wide the gap was, right? And the guy goes, yes. Hi, waves to the girl behind that like I now look like I'm talking trash about, right?
It's a little girl. You're talking smack about a child.
And so I'm like, my heart just drops. And I'm like, oh my God. And I look back, I'm like, that's not, and now I'm justifying my language to a 12-year-old girl. I'm like, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. And so this guy, Jason, he's a cool guy, right?
You on that one.
He wasn't here. This guy, Jason, right? Who's a cool guy. He's a super cool guy. Mm-hmm. He looks at his wife. He looks at his daughter. He's like, all right, we got to go get started. Well, my wife, Katie, goes ahead and gives you a lecture. I'm like, yeah, that's
I'd rather
fair.
take a lecture from the dad than the mom.
I think a lecture from him would have been far more pain. Like, I don't know. I don't know between the two. I don't know. But it was one of those like
Riley crushing little girls' dreams. Madden. Riley crushes little girls' dreams.
Any sliver of confidence that you just had, let me go ahead and smash it. So I got an update from a woman named Alex who was like, hey, I know this girl. Like, it didn't seem to affect her at all. She had a great last day. She's a phenomenal young woman. She's going to be great for the sport when she gets older. You know, it was just one of those, I couldn't believe what was coming out of my mouth once I realized like who was behind me. Cause I wasn't talking trash. I was just like, wow, that's a really big lead. Oh, the girl that's losing is 5 feet that way. Hearing all of it.
Even saying something, it's just saying it like it sounds like you're talking trash though.
Yeah, it does. It really does. There's no getting around that. Apparently she had a great second day. You know, the footnote to this story is that next week there's going to be a ton of professional disc golf players in Stockton. So something to check out. So
do you go and like get their autographs and stuff? Is like, how many people will come to watch the disc golf? Like 15?
Oh no, it's sold out.
I'm just,
yeah. They sold all 12 tickets. You know, there was a Groupon, buy one, get one. So,
all right. In the 8 o'clock stream, we're going to talk about the bat and the cat.
Oh, this is my favorite story. I love this one.
In my house, that I've now learned that maybe bats play dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
And that I am a total chicken, but.
No, you're not a chicken. I can't believe that you let the bat lay where it lay for as long as you let it lay. That's my takeaway from that story. Like, you didn't even get an oversized cup to put over it.
No, it was going to attack me. It was this this big, Ian.
You gave it plenty of time. You know what you were like when we tell this story? You were like that villain who literally laid out its entire plan to the good guy and then said, oh, here's some scissors to let yourself loose when I leave this room.
It healed itself and survived.
Yeah, we got to tell the story.
That bats, like, I have handled myself better around snakes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bats are gross. All right, so we'll talk about that. And we finally got an answer if wasabi with your sushi is the same as ordering barbecue sauce at a steakhouse. So I finally
does it offend the chef?
It doesn't offend the chef. I finally asked a sushi chef, and we have that answer too.
All right.
So we'll do that at 8 o'clock stream, you guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.